Have you ever asked yourself, why did God choose me? Among billions of people in this world, why are you here, at this exact moment, in this exact situation? Is everything just random? Or is there a greater purpose waiting for you? Sometimes, the world may make you feel small and insignificant. But remember this: God never creates anyone without a purpose. Every person is born with a mission, a divine plan that has been set from the beginning. If you are still breathing, if you are still searching for meaning, then take it as a sign. God is still writing your story. You are not here just to exist. You are here for a reason. So, what is your mission? What is God trying to tell you? Let's uncover it together. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you won't miss these life-changing messages. God chooses the ordinary to do the extraordinary. Stop doubting yourself. Many people mistakenly believe that to be chosen by God, they must be perfect, exceptionally talented, or live a flawless life. But God does not seek perfection. He seeks willing hearts. If you ever feel like you're not good enough, not strong enough, or unworthy, remember that the Bible is filled with stories of ordinary people, flawed and imperfect, whom God used to accomplish extraordinary things. Take Moses, for example. He was called by God to lead the Israelites out of Egypt. But instead of immediately accepting, he hesitated and told God, "Lord, I am not eloquent. I am slow of speech and tongue." Exodus 4:10. Moses was not a gifted speaker. In fact, he had a speech impediment. But did that matter to God? No, because God wasn't looking for a great orator. He was looking for someone who would trust him. And even though Moses doubted himself, he obeyed God's calling and became one of the greatest leaders in history. Or consider Gideon, a timid young man who saw himself as the weakest in his family and tribe. When the angel of the Lord appeared to him and declared that he was chosen to deliver Israel, Gideon immediately doubted. "Lord, my clan is the weakest in Manasseh, and I am the least in my family." Judges 6:15. But God does not see as man sees. He looks beyond appearances and recognizes the potential inside each person, even when they cannot see it themselves. If you've ever thought that you're not good enough or worthy enough to do God's work, remember this: He doesn't choose you because you are perfect. He chooses you because He sees greatness in you that even you may not recognize. So stop doubting yourself. If God has placed a calling in your heart, He will equip you with everything you need to fulfill it. Trials are part of God's call. He is preparing you. Many people believe that if God calls them, the journey ahead will be smooth, free of obstacles, and success will come easily. But the truth is quite the opposite. In the Bible, those chosen by God were not given the easiest path. Instead, they faced the greatest challenges. Take a look at the life of Joseph, a powerful example of how God uses trials to prepare someone for a greater purpose. From a young age, Joseph received prophetic dreams about his glorious future. However, the road to that destiny was not lined with ease and comfort. It was filled with betrayal, suffering, and trials. His own brothers, consumed by jealousy, sold him into slavery and cast him away from his homeland. Just when it seemed that his situation had improved as a servant in Potiphar's house, he was falsely accused and thrown into prison. A young man with great dreams suddenly found himself at the lowest point of society. But had God abandoned him? No. Despite every injustice, Joseph remained faithful to God. Every trial he faced was not a punishment, but a divine training process to prepare him for his future leadership. Then, at the appointed time, everything changed. From a prisoner, Joseph was elevated to the position of Prime Minister of Egypt, second only to Pharaoh. Every hardship, every moment of pain was part of God's greater plan, to mold him into the leader he was meant to be. Are you going through difficult times? Do you feel abandoned, misunderstood, or betrayed? Do you struggle to understand why God is allowing this to happen to you? Do not lose heart. The trials you are facing are not signs that God has forgotten you. Rather, they are proof that He is preparing you for something greater. If Joseph had not been sold into slavery, he would never have reached Egypt. If he had not been falsely accused, he would not have been imprisoned. If he had not been imprisoned, he would not have met the people who led him to Pharaoh. And if none of these things had happened, he would never have become the leader who saved an entire nation. God is not only calling you to do something great, He is shaping you into the person who can fulfill that calling. So trust Him, be patient, and walk in faith. God never wastes your pain. Everything happening in your life has a divine purpose. How to discover God's calling for your life. You may be wondering, how do I know my purpose? God doesn't always speak through an audible voice, but He always leaves signs throughout your life. If you pay attention, you will see that He has been guiding you all along. Ask yourself, what ignites your passion and won't let you go? God places a special desire in each person's heart. Maybe it's helping others, teaching, creating, or bringing healing. That passion is often a clue to your divine calling. What abilities do you have that others don't? Sometimes, the gifts you naturally excel at are the very tools God has given you to fulfill your purpose. You were uniquely designed to make an impact in a way that no one else can. What pain have you endured that taught you valuable lessons? God often uses our deepest wounds to shape us into a source of encouragement and healing for others. The hardships you've faced may be the very thing that equips you to help someone else. What burden weighs on your heart the most? If there's something that constantly stirs your soul, a cause you can't ignore, that could be a sign that you are called to change it. God didn't create you for an ordinary life. He placed within you a unique mission, something only you can fulfill. You are chosen. You are called. And the world is waiting for what God has placed inside of you. Do not fear when God calls you. Many people hear God's calling but are afraid to respond. They fear they are not good enough, not talented enough, not worthy enough. But the truth is, if God has chosen you, He will equip you. When Moses doubted himself and feared he wasn't capable, God didn't say, "Yes, you're right, you're not good enough." Instead, He assured him, "I will be with you." Exodus 3:12. When Jeremiah felt too young and inexperienced to be a prophet, God did not agree with his self-doubt. Instead, He declared, "Do not say, 'I am too young,' for I am with you and will rescue you." Jeremiah 1:7-8. God does not call the qualified. He qualifies the called. He is not looking for perfection. He is looking for a willing heart. If He has called you, He will give you everything you need to fulfill His purpose. So don't be afraid. Step forward in faith. You are chosen. Your life has a divine purpose. You are not here by accident. You are not a mistake, nor just another number among billions. God has chosen you for a special purpose, and the world needs what He has placed inside you. Do not let fear, doubt, or past wounds hold you back from stepping into His calling. Listen, seek, and have the courage to walk in faith. Because when you live according to the purpose God has set for you, you will experience true joy, meaning, and fulfillment. God has chosen you. Are you ready to answer His call? If this message speaks to you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel for more powerful revelations. Let's walk this journey of faith together.